Unit 4, Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. Adapted and summarized.
Professor Henry Higgins and Colonel Pickering are two British gentlemen. Higgins, a speech specialist, bets Pickering that he can transform a low-class Cockney-speaking flower girl named Eliza into a woman who speaks and acts as well as a duchess. The two men begin their scheme, and for the next few months, Higgins trains Eliza to speak like a lady. However, Higgins shows little respect for Eliza, swearing in her presence and making fun of her constantly. After Higgins takes Eliza to a party and successfully passes her off as a lady, Pickering congratulates Higgins for winning the bet. Soon the two men grow bored with their experiment and begin to ignore Eliza, leaving her feeling hurt and abandoned. That evening, Eliza decides to run away. The next day, Higgins goes to his mother's home with Colonel Pickering, only to discover that Eliza had been hiding upstairs. Eliza comes downstairs, cheerful and confident.
"How do you do, Professor Higgins? Are you feeling well?"
Am I?
"But of course you are. You are never sick." Turning quickly to Pickering. "Greetings, Colonel Pickering." Pickering rises hastily to shake hands. "Quite chilly this morning, isn't it?"
How dare you play this game? I taught it to you, and it doesn't deceive me. Stop acting like a fool and come home immediately.
Eliza takes a piece of needlework from her basket and begins to stitch at it, ignoring Higgins' rude behavior.
"Very nicely put, Henry. No woman could resist such an invitation."
Mother, let her speak for herself. Don't forget that she learned all her manners from me. In fact, I created her out of the squashed cabbage leaves of Covent Garden.
To Pickering. "Will you drop me altogether now that the experiment is over, Colonel Pickering?"
My dear, you mustn't think of it as an experiment.
"Oh, I'm only a squashed cabbage leaf?" Hastily.
No!
"But I owe so much to you that I should be miserable if you forgot me."
It's very kind of you to say so, Miss Dolittle.
"It's not because you paid for my dresses. It was from you that I learned really nice manners, and that is what makes one a lady, isn't it? You see, it was so very difficult for me with Professor Higgins as an example. I was taught from childhood to be just like him, unable to control myself, and using bad language. I would never have known that ladies and gentlemen didn't behave like that if you hadn't been there."
Well, still, he taught you to speak, and I couldn't have done that.
"It's just his profession. He was only doing his job."
Damn it, you!
"Colonel, do you know when my real education began? It was when you called me Miss Dolittle for the first time. That was the beginning of self-respect for me. And I learned so much from your actions that came naturally to you. Things like standing up and taking off your hat and opening doors."
Oh, that was nothing.
"These thoughtful actions showed me that you considered me to be more than just a lowly maid." Instead of apologizing to Eliza, Higgins says he is unable to control his rude manners. He acts like that with everyone. Eliza tells Higgins she just wants to be treated with kindness. If she cannot have kindness from him, then she'll have her independence. Instead of serving him, she could make a living by teaching others to speak well, just as he had taught her. Higgins is impressed by Eliza's courage and confidence, but as she leaves, he tells her to run some errands for him. The play ends with Higgins sitting alone in the room, convinced that Eliza will do as he asked.